everybody, to the We Hate Anime podcast, the only anime podcast that gives a fuck about whether or not you vote for Joe Biden or not.
No. This is October, Mike. We have 2 days. Okay? 2 days after October ends where I will give you a free pass for Tuesdays to blast ass about who people should vote for. But right now, in October, in the spooky month, we ain't doing this.
I like spooky month. Actually, I don't like Halloween, though.
Man.
I don't like Halloween.
I think talking about the man who looks like a big old pumpkin lantern is pretty spooky.
Oh, you said the thingy that the people say.
Orange man bad, everybody!
You said the thing that the liberals like.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. So, you know how I use the weekly topics channel and literally no one else does?
Yeah, we kind of stopped using that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my issue with that is the fact that I always leave these, 3-word notes about what I want to talk about during the podcast.
Yeah.
And, I have this one just called The Human Trafficking Story, and it took me a good, 3 minutes to remember what that's about.
You should probably remember what your stories are about.
I don't usually use that, but I do usually check it whenever I'm getting ready for the podcast. I didn't this week because it was in a rush, and also my head is exploding. Okay. But I do actually go into that channel. It's not just your little note-taking thing.
Yeah,
I have posted in there before.
Yeah, last time, let's see here, the last time somebody who wasn't me posted in here, I was talking about how to eat magnets.
Was it in 2019?
Frog, on my wife's birthday in April, said no.
Just no.
But, for those of you just joining us for the first time ever, this is the We Hate Anime podcast, the only podcast where we actually get along while hating anime. I am joined with my co-hosts, Frog King and Mike.
Yeah.
And I'm
That's me,
man.
Mike. I'm Mike. The other guy is Frog King.
No,
That's
I'm
Frog
Mike.
King.
I'm the new Mike.
Mike is
I've lost my identity.
Yeah.
So, I guess before we even start this week, can I just tell the human trafficking story?
I really want to know what the human trafficking story is. Well, I don't know. Do I want to know what the human trafficking story is?
Yeah, because I think it has a happy ending. I don't know. I just know I'm not addicted for complacency, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Okay.
So, I'm in a lot of Discords, and if you guys guess which Discord this is, don't say it, because I'm trying to keep the story...
I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm trying to keep the story vague.
Yeah. I heard about this, though.
So I'm in a Discord, and I moderate one of these Discords. And I'm kind of known as the cursed mod. Like, my whole thing is, everybody knows me because I live in the cursed channels.
What? You?
Yeah, the guy who put twerking scat fetish in the porn channel. Yeah.
Oh, God. Don't remind me of that. That channel's been ruined.
It smells like pistachio.
If you join the Discord, don't look at fat ass anime titties.
Or do.
But
or do.
Yeah, so I out of respect for all the other mods, I always have to approve and deny cursed things. And one of our members decides to message me directly on the Discord and be like, "Hey, Moth, can you look at this? This is so cursed." And he wasn't even asking for permission to post it. He knew it wasn't going to get allowed. He just wanted to show me. So he shows me 11 pages of conversation, I guess the kids these days call it the receipts. He shows me 11 pages where this guy's messaging him "Hey man, you want girls? I got girls. I got 8-year-old girls. I got 25-year-old girls. I got girls who are pregnant, girls who are lactating. I got girls who've never even met their parents. Whatever you want, man."
That's a very specific fetish.
The list of descriptions of what he was selling was probably 3 of the 11 pages long, and the whole time he's this seems like kind of human trafficking. He's maybe,
no,
you get high quality meat from me.
Oh,
dude, this is disgusting. And the guy's going on. He's I got this one girl. She's pretty hot. He's sending my buddy, or not even my. I don't want to call this guy my buddy. He's sending this person pictures of this girl, and this person is no, there's no way this is real. So he's "Hey, have the girl say banana pickle in a video, and I'll believe that." And sure enough, they send him a video where the girl says banana pickle. And so at this point, he's "Moth, I think this guy's a human trafficker. What should I do?" And I'm man, I really don't want to deal with this. Out of all the things I wanted to do on a Monday afternoon, this is not one of them.
I don't blame you.
So I get in with some of the other guys, and I'm in the mod group, and I'm like, what should I do here? Like, I'm being sent human trafficking receipts. Like, what should I do? And everyone else in the group is like, I like go to one of the other mods who happens to work for the U.S. government, and I'm like, hey, send it to this other mod, which was a huge mistake. So he sends it to the other mod, and the other mod's like, you realize I'm a federal employee, right? And so ultimately, what we all had to do, every single one of us chuckle morons, is we all had to fill out an ICE human trafficking report, and we had to include.
Okay.
And this guy was so like, because we're sitting here, we're like, and the guy's like, guys, I'm freaking out. What if this is actually human trafficking? I'm like, why are you talking to a human trafficker? He's like, I'm trying to pull a Chris Hansen. I'm like, you realize that Chris Hansen has done very poorly recently, right? and so like this guy's like crying. He's like, I was trying to be cool and save somebody, and he's like crying, and he's like, Moth, what do I do? And I'm like, well, you get to fill out an ICE form, I get to fill out an ICE form, and my fellow mod gets to fill out an ICE form. So we had to submit 3 ICE forms, and that's pretty much the end of it.
Jeez.
We don't know what happened, but we filled out 3 ICE forms, and I told him, like, look, I just know about this by association. You want to message this man on Discord, and if you're going to arrest anybody, arrest him. I submitted an anonymous tip. Send me the 10 grand and leave me alone.
The awful part of me wants to press for more information just because of how, like, fucked up and weird that entire thing that you just said is, but,
Thing is, I did hear about this, so like it's not a. I feel like a lot of, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but like Moth stories feel fabricated sometimes. I don't know, but I think I heard something about this.
Guys, if you think Moth stories, like if you think Moth isn't a real person, I challenge you, please go and listen to our Rurouni Kenshin episode. Because the guest we had on, Itsumo, bless your soul, man. Like he went into that episode thinking Moth is a character. He plays this up, and like he got his soul destroyed in that episode. Jesus Christ!
Actually,
I didn't listen to the ending. Is it near the end or?
I had to play the audio for my wife where you could just hear his brain snap.
Yeah. Fucking, it was amazing, and it was such a like, it was a soft Moth moment. Like Moth was just like, Moth decided to completely retell the story of that OVA from his, like, how he understood it, and the fucked up way he like pieced everything together made Kev like his brain stop And it was in that moment where I feel like Kev didn't feel safe anymore. Like, despite being in California, that man was looking over his shoulder the whole time, expecting a monster to pop out.
Yeah, so I know a lot of my stories sound fabricated, but this is actually how I had to deal with last Monday. Like, I come home from work and I'm ready to take a depression nap when I have to deal with this crap.
Yeah, that sounds
so
not
Frog,
fun.
but you can vouch for this. You heard.
No. I've heard about this.
Yeah.
This is not like, at the very least, there's a second person who told me something about this.
Yeah, so it's just like it was the worst. Oh man, and I'm so mad because like, you know, on one hand, I think we found out later that it was likely that it was a girl who has a fetish about being human trafficked.
That
so
sounds
she does
more
like
likely.
she does these like role plays where she's like, oh man, you know, I want you to buy me and use me as a toy or something, and like, you know, regardless.
It's far more likely than someone just messaging someone randomly on Discord about this. So,
sure, but you know, here's
I don't
the
know
yeah,
if
it's probably what it is.
In my mind, I don't know if that's on the same level, better or worse. Because like, okay, it's not worse than human trafficking.
No,
I'll
obviously.
say that.
Yeah, obviously not.
So I'm being like, okay, what's the thing that's gonna get me off? I know. Let's pretend you sell me to somebody.
I mean,
Yeah,
people have
exactly.
some messed up fetishes.
Yeah, like I'm the king of messed up fetishes, and even I'm just like, what the hell happened?
Like that's NTR with a bunch of extra steps, dude.
Yeah, it really is. And so like that, I think that's ultimately what we discovered happened is like it was a girl, and like I guess I found out later that she was even underage and catfishing.
Oh,
over
great.
men.
Fantastic.
So, but like I still had to fill out a freaking ICE form because of it. Because it's like you can't joke about human trafficking.
No, you can't. No, that's yeah.
So,
I mean, it seems at least you did the responsible thing.
Yeah, and it's like, I didn't, did I want to wake up and fill out a human trafficking form that day? Absolutely not. Do I think it was a legitimate situation where that was happening? No. Do I still fill out the damn form? Yes.
You kind of got to, right?
You don't take risks with shit like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you think there's a pedophile ring next door, you don't just you don't let freedom ring on that. You just be like, maybe I call the cops on that one.
What if you're in the raid, though? You just kind of have to deal with it.
And what's the worst that can happen is, like, if you're intentionally sending false information because you don't like your neighbor, like, that's one thing, but it's like, hey, I'm honest with you guys, like, I relatively believe this was happening, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. Like, they're not going to arrest you for trying to protect children.
Most likely.
If the neighbor that's hitting on your mom is a vampire, the least you can do is send an email to Van Helsing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the least you can do.
It's a weird metaphor, but yeah, exactly.
Everyone should watch either the original or the remake of Fright Night. It's a good movie.
Is that on Shudder? Because, like, my new podcast that I keep trying to get off the ground, that, a certain person won't ever watch the material.
How's that feel? Moth?
I was gonna say, wait, it sounds like some self-medication.
With our podcast, I can kind of limp along on the episodes where I don't watch what we do, because, like, honestly, in an hour and a half podcast, we spend 30 minutes talking about anime. I clearly told this person, hey, we're going to talk about Lovecraft movies that were done in the 80s and Lovecraft movies that were done this decade. And she was like, no, trust me, I can wing this. I'm like, you didn't watch any of them.
Oh, I can wing this.
Oh my god.
That's what you want to hear.
Yeah. So I
mean, at least whenever, like, for example, Frog, I mean, we're going to talk about anime later. Frog didn't watch almost anything of the list I made for everyone a month ago.
To be fair, it's my first offense.
Okay,
but
Mike.
Frog, come on, this is not your first offense.
Okay, it's my first major offense.
Not by a mile. No. In fact, we've had to record other people on the episode because you haven't watched.
Well, I was just feeling terrible that day, okay?
No, you're good. No, like, honestly, the fact that you've been with us every episode except one, and I, like, disappear every other week.
I'm feeling a lot better right now. I can talk about that if you want.
No, it's okay. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to.
Oh no, it's fine. I mean, I'm in a happier situation now.
Okay,
it's a good thing.
I will say, Mike, just as a rule of thumb, don't ask me to watch stuff that's exclusively on Funimation anymore, because I refuse to give up my crusade with them.
You don't have to do it. I don't watch the shit. I don't watch anything legally except for sometimes on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, it's. I think the one thing that is exclusively to Funimation that I went out of my way to watch this week was Hypnotic Mike.
Mike Hypnotic?
Hypnosis Mike.
Did you watch some fucking hentai shit?
I watched an idol anime where all weapons have been banned, women rule the planet, and men are only allowed to fight by rapping.
This does not sound like an idol anime.
How does that not sound like an idol anime?
I can't, like, my brain is melting. Speaking of brain melting, I currently have an awful ear infection.
Yeah, so
isn't that
two
perfect?
of the
That's
three members of the podcast almost died this week.
I was supposed to get in a life-threatening situation. I didn't do it. I'm sorry, guys. I failed you guys.
You failed the homework, Frog.
Yeah, I was supposed to be.
He didn't watch the anime. He didn't almost kill himself.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Sorry, guys. I really fucking
screwed
the pooch on this one, guys.
So a week ago today, no, it was a week ago yesterday. I had started feeling. I knew I had an ear infection because I know what they feel like. I'm pretty prone to them.
Yeah. I was for a long time as well, so I know what you mean.
I was like, okay, it's coming on, but it's fine. It doesn't. Most of the time, it's very mild, and I was like, okay, it's fine. And I just was A-okay. And then I woke up the next day, and
it was not A-okay.
I could not feel my face. My mouth, from Sunday until 2 days ago, my mouth couldn't close. Which, thankfully, I have masks laying around because of, like, there's a thing going around called the coronavirus. So, like, I could cover it and not dry out. But, like, there were 3 days where I couldn't sleep. Like, I maybe got 2 hours of sleep each night, sitting straight up so that I didn't put pressure on my face.
Fun.
Yeah.
It was so bad that even despite the fact that I don't have insurance, I went to the hospital and got medication. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun to fight whenever they send the bill.
I've talked to you about this because I actually went to one of our Discords and I talked to the actual like people who work in hospitals, because I work in hospitals, but I'm biomed, so I don't actually like work with the hospital. I actually talked to like nurses and technologists. I'm like, my friend can't afford medicine. What should he do? And she's like, well, the first thing he should have done when he checked into the ER was say, hey, I am below the poverty line. I can't pay. And then the whole time he's in the hospital, just be like, just so you know, I can't pay, so don't sign me up for anything that like you guys don't feel like eating. And then if they try to give you a bill, just say, hey, I told you I can't pay. I have nothing to my name. You can't repo a damn thing. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to pay.
But yeah, I went, I was there, it was 6 a.m. Like, I stayed up that entire night, and I was like, okay, I gotta go. So I went, and I have antibiotics. I need to take mine, actually. Whenever we're done recording, I'm gonna go eat a sandwich and then take them. The good thing to come out of, like, the infection, though, is that, I haven't been able to eat, so my appetite's, like, calmed down quite a bit. And that's Pog, right, guys?
Yeah.
You've lost weight. Woo!
I don't know about losing weight, but I don't want to eat so much, because sometimes when I eat, it hurts.
Fun.
But something I didn't mention is that when I did go to the doctor, they checked the infected ear and was like, wow, yeah, that's infected. Hey, dog,
Helpful.
real quick, let me check the other ear. And they fucking pointed their little ear thing in my ear, and I was like, that one looks bad too. And I was like, I don't even feel that one. So my infection in the left ear is calming down, but the early infection in the right ear is starting to pick up. Yeah, I hate my life.
We'll get you fixed up,
man.
But yeah, that's me. Frog, why don't you tell us, I know you've been playing a little bit too much of the Risk of Rain 2 and not watching anime.
I have been playing a lot of Risk of Rain 2. So, the reason I was on the last episode, and then took a small break, but like the reason I was on the last episode was mostly because I was this sad little boy, not very happy. So I just kind of retreated to like a cave and started playing a different game. Risk of Rain 2 was that game. It's very good though, at the very least. But it was kind of helped me through some rough boy times, I guess. That's the best way to put it. At least right now, I think I'm in a happier spot. Mainly because I met someone who's cool, which is fun. So we do.
Frog's getting his little froggy genitalia moistened.
That's one way to say I have a girlfriend now, but okay.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. I actually really appreciate it. Like the last one I had, I think I announced it on the podcast too, but it didn't last very long. Maybe like a month. At this point, I'm already a month into this one, so.
Yeah, so you've already
we already beat the
record.
records. Yeah, exactly. So we're set.
They fucked before holding hands, though. I just want everyone to
Oh my
Not
gosh.
true.
It's really fucked up.
What?
What is
really
wrong
fucked
with
up.
you?
I don't know why you said this.
It's so fucked up, dude. I can't believe. Like there are stages. Like if Adventure Time taught me anything, is that there's stages to romance.
It is literally courting, marriage, hand-holding, and then consensual sex in the missionary position.
True.
Okay, well I did a couple of those.
You know why they call it missionary position? Because you're meeting with God to meet the soul of your child. Because that is what sex is for.
What?
The soul of your child?
I'm pretty sure I've been like fundamentally cultist Christian longer than both of you combined, and I've never heard that.
That's technically true. But remember, I was Southern Baptist, and those fucking people are crazy.
Okay, yeah, that crazy isn't the same as a cult. I mean, it's if you take the Venn diagram.
Well, I mean, they're interlaced at the very least.
If you take the Venn diagram, it's like 90% overlapped, but there are some mutual exclusions.
Sure.
Oh man, that's fucking. So Genshin, I think we all played Genshin Impact.
I did not.
always
I have
do.
decided that Genshin Impact is my new dowsing rod to figure out the people I hate.
Okay.
This game, I played a little bit of it.
It's okay.
I played about 2 hours
At
of
best.
it while I was having, like, the pain and fevers, so I didn't get to, like, do anything. But I thought the Paimon was cute.
Oh, I hate her.
I think she's cute. I think the art style is way too generic anime. Like, fuck,
I agree
man.
there for sure.
But I do think it's better Breath of the Wild.
I do not agree.
There's not such a thing as better Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was perfect.
I do not
Man,
agree with that either.
No, the biggest issue Breath of the Wild had is the miscellaneous dungeons around the map were very generic and felt soulless. But that was it. Like, it's a 150-hour game if you collect everything, and
I
it was
don't
so
think doesn't
kind
matter to me.
It's also like a video game with weapon degradation that you can't repair. That
I'm fine with that.
But it has unique, cool weapons that you can't repair and will break when they're done, with the exception of the obvious Master Sword,
Okay.
which they give
Now,
like an ability to retain.
Does Genshin Impact have kite flying?
Yes.
Wait, seriously?
Yes.
Yeah.
Does
You
it have
can-
wall
you can-
climbing?
Yes.
Yes.
So it's literally they China-fied Breath of the Wild.
Kinda.
But they also made it like a lot better and mechanically interesting. Like there's an entire element system where like you can get something wet and then use a ice ability on it and they'll freeze, or you can use a fire ability on it and they'll I think it's that when they're wet they explode.
No, I don't know. There's a bunch of different effects. I don't know. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's got like a weird like element mixing thing. But
Which makes it so like you switch you switch all your characters with the press of a button, and each character has like relatively unique movesets.
moveset is being really generous. This is where I drop off because like the moveset is 2 moves.
This is where the fighting game player drops off.
Well, it's not even a moveset. It's like you have your basic attack, like that you can spam, and you have a like charge attack that takes a cooldown, and you have a charge like an ultimate per se, and then that's it. It's every character, and it's you basically just kind of switch between them to do an element combo. Yeah, the actual fun is I guess element combos probably.
But
like,
you can do that in what is it? Xenoblade Chronicles.
I don't know what that game is, but I mean I know what it is. I just haven't played
it's
it.
really wild. Okay,
You know, I have a
Xenoblade
fun
Chronicles.
story about Xenoblade Chronicles, but go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say Xenoblade Chronicles 2. If that game had come out free to play and had more of an emphasis on its gacha like weird shit that's in it, like Xenoblade. If anyone's ever played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, it is a gacha game where you don't pay money for the gacha.
You know, it's
That would turn off people who play gacha.
what's really funny
I know.
is I remember I was driving to my family's house Christmas Eve because my whole family's German, so we do the whole like Christmas Eve. You open the presents on Christmas Eve, which I later found out had nothing to do with being German. It's just my parents didn't want to wake up Christmas Day, so they made up a fake holiday so that we opened our presents and then we just were quiet as shit for the next day.
My mom did that too, but instead it was you can open one present.
Yeah.
But we're not waking up early the next morning.
Yeah, so so I'm driving to my parents' lake house. I really don't want to talk about how affluent my parents are. I'm driving to their lake house with my wife, and the whole time she was like, "What's Xenoblade Chronicles 2?" And I was like, "I'm never gonna get it. I'm never gonna play it. There's a lot of waifus. It's just basically big titty grind RPG." And I was like describing to her, I'm like, "You have to be really horny to play this game." And
It's a prerequisite.
This is how I'm describing it to my wife. And we get to my parents' house, and my whole family is like sitting around, we're exchanging gifts, and my little brother throws a gift at my head. He's like, "Duh, play this." And he's like hands me a gift, and I open it up, and it's Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And my wife just gives me a venomous glare, like, "What did you just say about this in the car ride?" And so, like, you're not gonna play a free 70-hour RPG. And then I think like my third gacha roll was the rabbit, which then proceeded to be my best blade for the rest of the game, and I was like, I should just kill myself.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a weird game.
It is so horny.
I can't, man. It's not even.
It's so.
It's not
horny.
even that horny.
It's pretty horny.
It's pretty horny, but it's.
It's horny.
I can't recommend that game to people, and I like that. I beat that game.
I love
can't
the
recommend
voice
it to
acting.
people.
That game has the single best voice acting of any
so
RPG
bad.
I've ever played.
Oh, dude, that game has one of my favorite characters, Nia. Nia's. I love her so much.
The fact that they
Every
had
single-
a 40-year-old Irish woman with smoker's lung play a tiny cat girl is the best part.
excuse you, not Irish, Welsh.
Welsh, sorry.
That's why I love her so much, because she's a sassy Welsh cat girl. It's like the cornerstone of like everything I enjoy, and she also won't take any. Oh, she's so good. And then like the fucking game shits on her by like allowing her to develop organic feelings for the main character,
and then get friend-zoned.
It's the worst. It's at the end of a dungeon. She has her big moment, and like she's open with herself. She's like, "I love you, Rex," and he's all like,
I like your attitude.
I don't give a fuck, bitch.
"Me." No, if he said I don't give a fuck, bitch, I'd be like, "Damn, that sucks." But he's just like, "I love you too. I love all my friends."
No, Mike. You know what he says? He says, "I like your attitude."
Is that really what he fucking says?
Yes, that is what he says, Frog.
I fucking hate that game so, and it's even worse because it's part of a series that is the worst game in an entire series, which is fucking wild.
No, it
Chronicles
is the
X
best
sucks.
game in an entire series.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It is the only one of the entire series that's so unbelievably campy and stupid that it's worth playing.
God.
Hey, that is not true, dude. Like, Xenoblade Saga is literally about Jesus being reborn, and you have to get him back to Earth to, like, stop the souls of humanity from destroying itself. That game is self-serious camp. That series is amazing and awful. It's awesome.
You know what my favorite part about Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and by favorite part I mean I despise it to no end, is the fact that you have to grind in that game, but there is not a single battle that takes less than like a minute and a half.
Yeah, like, the game's just not very challenging.
No, but you have to grind because like there's no challenge. But if you're 3 levels under, the boss is just gonna one hit you with its ultimate halfway through the fight.
Yeah, I play a lot of like RPGs. I despise when one of them's like, "Hey, literally the only challenge in this game is number. So hope you have number. Otherwise, you will be not good."
Yep,
Yeah, I hate
and
number
Xenoblade
games. That's
Chronicles
why Warframe
2
is awful.
number.
Don't at me. If you like Warframe, you're dumb.
I like playing Necros Prime.
No.
I don't think Warframe's like 100% like number.
It's all
like
number.
It's all number.
If you but like if you, I got through that
Mike,
game with
it
a
is
completely
100
unoptimized build.
It is 100% number, especially late game.
Yeah,
planet
no.
grinding.
Early game, it's like, okay, wow, it sucks you in. With like, oh man, the shooting is kind of fun in this. Can't wait to play more the next level. And the next level, everyone's a bullet sponge. And you're like, oh, I literally cannot shoot.
No, I pretty much.
Maybe it's
pretty
because I
much
have
love
an affinity for like Mass Effect, where I don't mind it.
Maybe.
Don't mind
But
what?
And don't get me wrong, Warframe is a fun game, but like being a ninja that can jump over walls eventually doesn't matter because at some point the enemies get homing bullets. So you
Yeah.
could be the fastest, stealthiest ninja in the world, and they're still gonna hit you.
What a pointless
Yeah,
fucking
but,
game. I
but
hate
then you
Warframe.
unlock Ember, and you just walk around and like use your ability constantly because you spec'd it properly so that your ability is always active and you just melt everything around you.
I think I made the mistake because I didn't realize that Necros was a grinding frame. Like I didn't realize
Every
that.
frame is a grinding frame.
Well, no, but like Necros, you want one Necros in your party at all times. I didn't realize that, and I picked Necros because I'm like, man, it's a Necromancer. That's awesome. And I totally spec'd him out as a poison build. So like all my weapons do like corrosion or poison damage, whatever it's called. And they're all poison weapons. And I find out later from my friend, he's like, yeah, you should just be cooldown spamming. You should be mana and cooldown spamming. And I'm like, oh.
Bro, you're not being optimal in this video game you play for fun. Fucking cringe.
That's any late game MMO though. Come on.
Yeah, it's any like online game really.
So
People just get that culture
were we supposed to talk about anime?
at some point.
Yeah. You know what? Let's talk about anime. And the anime we're going to talk about is the season. We got a brand new anime season, a bunch of new shows. Some of the stuff we aren't going to talk about because it comes out today. Like Moth, there's already one Mappa show on this list, but there's another Mappa show, and I know you like Mappa.
3 Mappa shows on the list because Golden Kamui's Mappa,
But there's another Mappa show that's literally just like fit guys doing sport. So you'll probably like it.
Wait. I think I heard about this one. What is it again?
I don't remember. It was on the list until I realized it came out today.
Let's see here. Mappa, October 2020. Let's see. Fucking Mappa annual conference. Hey, what are these no maps here?
It's
is this?
gonna-
Is it?
Here I go
Is it
again.
Boku Yaku Battery?
I'm literally scrolling through the list because I can't be arsed to remember.
I'm desperate. Okay, well, Mike is going through the list. Let's talk about the only anime that we all watched, and that is Jiu-Jitsu Kaisen.
Let's save.
Let's not.
We all watched that. Let's save it for last.
Wait, Frog. Did
Okay.
you watch Inuyasha 2.
No fucking way, no.
Inuyasha 2, Electric Boogaloo.
No.
I mean, before we talk about anything, I do want to just touch base on one thing. In case anyone cares, none of us watched Higurashi When They Cry, Gao. Because Higurashi is a show I completely missed, and I had no interest in a sequel.
Higurashi at this point is like watching Elfen Lied. If you're still going back to watch it, I'm putting you on a list.
Oh, if you enjoy Elfen Lied, I don't trust you to be alone with children.
Yeah.
But we will talk about Yashahime, Princess Half-Demon.
You watched that one, right, Frog?
The Princess Bride.
Yeah, you watched Inuyasha 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, I watched Inuyasha too, dude. I love Inuyasha. I'm the biggest Inuyasha fan. I love it when he
When
Yasha's.
he does the wind scar.
Sure.
So I just want to say, first off, it's really weird that Yashahime is named after a side character and not the main character of this sequel series.
Dude, I'm 100% positive one of those three kids is the other wolf demon's child.
Oh man, that would be pretty sick. And oh man, the wild Yashahime. If it was Yashahime and the reason she looks like Inuyasha is because she idolized him, that'd be so sick. Just to piss off her dad, it would be so cool.
Oh no, I'm 100% positive that's what happened.
Oh, okay. So, if you have never seen Inuyasha, can you watch this show? 100%. Just skip the first episode. The first episode's fine. It just reestablishes all the characters you already know from Inuyasha.
But I don't
like
know
it doesn't.
From Inuyasha.
Exactly. You can totally skip it.
But
What are you bumming about?
if I don't know them, wouldn't I want to know them?
Not really, because Moroku is not even remotely the same character anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't have the good sucking.
Moroku got side-railed so hard that his wife, with 3 kids on her back, is doing more damage to demons than he is.
I mean, literally, okay, if you watch Inuyasha, you know that the only thing Moroku has is his staff. Yeah, literally, like, the only thing he has for dealing with shit is I'm gonna suck it up into my black hole.
Yeah.
So as soon as he, lifts his own curse at the end of the series, it's like, shit, fam, I guess I'm hitting the bleach, I'm hitting the seats. Oh, fuck. But, this Inuyasha sequel is actually, it's actually pretty good, honestly. It feels a lot like the original series, but without, being a complete... Okay, it is a complete and total... instead of there being one Shikon jewel, there are now the 3 rainbow pearls, so that we can have the female characters each have their own MacGuffin.
The MacGuffin trio, dude.
But, there's some really cool things,
Mike, it was the Gymnastics Samurai.
Oh, the other Mappa show?
Yeah, because I got you guys to talk so I could look it up, and it's called The Gymnastics Samurai.
Yeah, you might like that. I'm probably going to watch it, just to watch it.
It's a manly men with beautiful muscles.
Yeah. But on the opposite side, Yashahime is about girls, question mark? There's the main character.
The most androgynous,
But she's very clearly androgynous on purpose. There's a lot in that second episode, because the second episode's where the show starts.
I was gonna say, you realize they made every character share other other parents traits. The kid that I'm pretty sure is Sesshomaru's daughter or son or kid has like, or no, the one that I'm almost positive is Inuyasha's kid has Sesshomaru's little pelt thing going on.
Okay, I don't... Okay, that girl you're talking about is literally the main character's, like, sister, so... I don't think so. Maybe, but, like, she also has white hair. I don't know. Like, it's only the second episode.
And I'm already confused.
I don't think it's confusing. I just think you're asking questions with, like, that aren't being asked by the show. And that's honestly though, that's kind of what Inuyasha does. Like, Inuyasha is a series that, like, very much doesn't ask any questions. It just tells its story. But with that said, Yashahime, it is actually like there's a little more substance there than just normal Inuyasha. Our main character is very androgynous, and she very clearly prefers to appear that way. And there are lines.
That's because Sesshomaru was androgynous.
Or
Yo mama.
There are lines in the show where she's all like, a modern society, it's very like constricting of who she wants to be. Not like the society she was from, because she's from the feudal era and she got trapped in the future as a child and raised in the future. And like it's actually pretty cool. There's this it's maybe it could be like Inuyasha, in which it will set something up and then never touch it forever. But it feels like it might be tackling some gender norms, and that might be cool, I guess, maybe, but probably maybe not. I don't know. I've only seen 2 episodes of this show.
Maybe not my favorite way to
Mike,
endorse a show.
Mike, it's going to challenge gender norms the same way the Japanese always challenge gender norms, by making it fetishy and cool.
I don't know, man. Cool. They really don't fetishize any of the main 3 girls.
Yes, because the author,
really surprised.
The author is the OG, like, female mangaka. That is the only thing keeping those little girls from ending up in a freaking NTR dark fantasy.
At the end of the day, I genuinely think this show has some promise to it. And if you like old anime, give it a shot, because I think it has a lot of that old anime feel. The soundtrack is nowhere near as good as original Inuyasha, though, which is a big negative against it.
Was the original really that good, or is that all that we had on Adult Swim? I don't remember.
No. I said soundtrack is as good. The original show's, like, kind of garbage, but, like, if that's all you watched, it's all you watched.
Yeah, like, they could have honestly have put Elfen Lied back in the day, and we'd been like, holy crap, this is the best thing ever, because it's all we had.
True. Like, I used to like Toriko, if that to tell anyone. No.
I tried to read Toriko.
Not Toriko.
I like Toriko. Shut up.
No, I said not Toriko. I meant Toko. Different show.
Toko
very
different
show.
The yellow bird.
No. Toko was the anime about the guy who looked like with like orange hair, and like it was edgy action show, and it was just.
I'm just
really
getting
bad.
Danganronpa in the results.
But yeah, that's Yashahime. I highly recommend it. I now want to talk about just spitfire some shows that I watched that no one will have anything to say about. And I want to start with Assault Lily Bouquet.
What?
Bad Yuri show. The only reason to watch Assault Lily Bouquet
is because you're into lesbianism.
No. Yes.
But yes.
Yes. But like also
gosh.
if you're a guy who's like, I want my hip to waist ratio to be like 3-to-1.
That's not even it. That's like the skirts these girls are wearing. Like, I'm looking at a picture. I watched the show. There's a lot of it's not good, guys. Like, I want it to be good. They do that, that cool thing that they do in anime where they like reference that like old sword shot where the sword is like close up. No.
And like they're far away. They did it in Gridman.
Holy crap!
That's a cool shot, and they do it once.
You're right,
and there's some
Mike.
good animation in it.
I'm looking at this picture right now, and like if you were just to follow the line up to her legs, they would go straight past her waist.
Yeah,
like
the hips are like nuts.
Send a picture in the chat. I want to see this.
I did. I posted a picture.
Oh, you did?
If
Okay,
you
let me see
actually
what it
follow
is.
her hip line all the way up. It just goes straight through.
It's
my God.
Yeah, like if you're yeah, I know, right? If you like hips and you like thighs,
That's
like the
fucking
show,
dope.
like the very first shot of the show is a close up on a girl's thigh, and it's showing the absolute territory.
Bruh, give me
Which is
that.
it's all over the show. I don't think of like the like trashy like Yuri pandering like shows you can watch. This isn't so bad. There actually is some okay animation in it, but like this is nothing.
It's like Land of
Honestly.
the Lustrous. There's nothing to keep me around.
I swear to God, I will pin you to the ground and make non-consensual love to you.
You know, I'd like to see you try because I grapple like a damn monkey. I'm not much in a stand-up fight, but I will
never
grapple
let
that
Land of the
fat
Lustrous
love handle
go.
out of my way.
The only reason Land of the Lustrous wasn't part of our best anime of the decade list is because Frog hasn't seen it, so he couldn't argue with me.
It's bad.
It's one of the best shows ever!
Oh, it's just Steven Universe for even harder lesbians.
It literally isn't. It's a show about how trauma changes you. It's so good!
So
what
it's
Steven
just
Universe is
Steven
about.
Universe.
Not to say it's the same thing, but isn't that also what Steven Universe is about?
It's exactly Steven Universe, Mike.
I'm not
mean,
trying to say it to say it, but isn't that like actually what Steven Universe is
Frog?
about?
No.
Okay, I mean that's what I keep hearing about. Like maybe it's just maybe it's what Future's about or something.
I watched
That's
an
not
anime.
even what Future's about. Like
Listen, I haven't seen either one. So
Future
I
is about how repressed trauma can damage those around you, but they still love you, and you should work through it.
that's pretty close though.
It's not, that is very different from the way trauma can change you as a person.
No.
And it's a very good. It's a very
Future.
silence Moth. It is a very good metaphor for it too, because it's not obvious. It's built into the mechanics of the show. Like if I didn't tell you that, you could watch it and just enjoy the show.
Bruh, you know what did Trauma Defines You better than Steven Universe? Has Been Hotel.
So I also watched a show called The Journey of Elenia.
Alright, time to look that up.
This show's okay. If you like kind of slow paced shows about just I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, I could describe it. It's about a witch who is the first episode is her becoming becoming a witch.
That's the one with the Ara Ara witch mommy.
Yes.
Oh man, my wife loved that one.
I think it is good. I don't know if you'd like it, Moth.
No,
if
I
you're-
was completely bored except for the fact that her mentor was freaking hot.
Yeah, it has some pretty okay animation in it, surprisingly.
Yeah, that fight sequence with her and her teacher where she just got steamrolled.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I
I don't know if I'll watch more of it, because
The main reason to watch it left the show.
I mean, she could come back, but the
She
first
better
episode is
come
very
back.
self-contained. The first episode is basically just like a 22-minute little short film.
Yeah, and it was great. And honestly, I loved her teacher, and the fact that her teacher may not come back is really distressing me.
Next up on my little roulette, Akudama Drive. This show
Yeah.
is
Ooh,
pretty interesting.
this looks edgy as shit. I need to watch it.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. The first episode ends with every single character getting a bomb strapped around their neck, and we're like, "Hey, if you don't listen to me, I'll explode it." And they're like, "What?" And then a cop nearby is like, and he tries to rip it off, and his head explodes, and that's how the first episode ends.
Danganronpa.
It's Gantz.
Yes, and the art even looks like Danganronpa, but the setting is kind of interesting. Like it takes place in like this cyberpunk world where people become renowned for the crimes that they do and get like nicknames because of it.
Oh, so it's
And-
the boys of Chromatari High.
No,
Cromarty, I think.
No.
Chromatari.
But the entire show it just centers around like it introduces each of the important characters and this girl who is not a criminal, and it gets them
Yet.
together in a single place. And it's really interesting. It has a really cool art style. It has like pretty good animation. The direction's fantastic, and the music is so good. I am upset that neither of you watched it.
Like I said, I'm
Okay,
going to go back
be
to the list
fair,
and watch it.
I think I
all.
watched like 12 shows, and I tried really, really hard. Like,
Yeah, Moth
believe
did
it or
better
not,
than I did
Mike.
this time around, so at least.
So now I'm gonna like throw the ball back into your court, Mike, and talk about an anime that I watched. And I'm gonna send a picture of it right now for you guys to see. It's called Hypnosis Mike, or it might be called Hypnoseismic Mike. I'm not actually sure.
Hypnoseismic Mike.
Or like Hypnotic Mike or something. Here's what it is. It's an idol anime. All right. It is your generic every season there's 2 of these idol anime. But here's the premise. War has ended. All weapons have been turned in and destroyed. Women control the planet, and not just women. Only older, busty women control the planet. And men are still relegated to fight and die, but they're only allowed to do it with microphones, and they have to rap battle each other. And when boy bands team up with each other, they create even stronger, like, beats, and their music becomes even more powerful.
Isn't this Symphogear?
Yeah, honestly, this sounds like Shinder Reverse Symphogear.
And so it's the whole premise is there's a battle tournament about to start, and you have 4 3-man groups. You have a group of smart city kids who know how to rap the streets. You have a mafia member and who works with the police and the Navy that work together. So it's like, we're the law enforcement rappers. Oh yeah. And then you have like upper middle class people who run businesses. And it's like a candy shop, an author, and a gambler work together. And they rap like really soft fuckboy music that NSYNC would like. And then the 4th group is just like white collar jobs. So it's like a businessman, a host club owner, and a doctor work together. And they have like really, I don't want to say staccato, but like that thing where like you constantly change rhythm or like you change the tempo.
Jazz.
Yeah, okay, whatever. They jazz rap. And honestly, it is hot garbage in a can, but I'm going to keep watching it.
That sounds kind of funny.
This literally sounds like you were pitching an anime, and then halfway through, Kat came in and was like, but what if they were cute boy idols?
Yeah, because honestly, like 3/4 of the show are just the most manly men, and then you have like the 3 characters or the like 4 guys that you know are the ukes.
Yeah. Considering I talked about Assault Lily Bouquet, I'll give you that one, because that doesn't sound like something I would like. But also, I like gay girls, so like, it's okay.
Actually, Mike, real quick, can we talk about the anime where I want to drown the main character in the bathwater?
That could be a lot of shows.
I'm Standing on a Million Lives.
Sure. I love the show.
I hate it.
Is it
a romance show?
I'm waiting for the
It's
MC.
called I'm Standing on a Million Lives.
I don't know, that could be anything.
Romance.
I'm waiting for the MC to have his come to Jesus moment, and I'm worried it might not happen.
In the 2nd episode, it happens.
Okay, so at that point, I might actually like the show.
So basically, I'm Standing on a Million Lives is about. It's kind of an isekai.
It's an isekai where they can go back home when they complete their objectives.
Yeah, so like
So
a group of people. Actually, like, yeah, it is kind of similar to Gantz. But instead of like being taken to another part of the world, they get taken to a fantasy world, and the fantasy world has video game logic.
Really bad video game logic. But I like the fact that one member of the party has to stay alive.
Yeah, I care more about the story being good than like the like gameplay aspects of it being good. And like the concept of like in the 2nd episode, it reveals that once you reach a milestone level, you can get a secondary job, which is cool because he does it in a really hype moment because it's telling the story more than trying to be a good video game, because it's not a good video game. The thing is, like, there's this interdimensional being with half a face who barely like speaks words correctly.
He doesn't finish sentences.
And he doesn't finish words in sentences. So it's really confusing sometimes to read what he says. But, like, he's this interdimensional being from the future who shows up and is trying to train a bunch of people to prevent, you learn this in the 2nd episode, to prevent a disaster from destroying the real world.
Okay.
And the main character is a shit who hates the real world, and he's not edgy. He's just like he's just kind of like an asshole.
Shield Hero Man.
Yeah, no, because Shield Hero Man was a good person who kept getting crap blamed on him. This guy is just a douche.
Yeah, like kind of like Gantz, but not as bad as Gantz. Because in Gantz, the dude was like, "I'm gonna take the clone girl home with me and rape her. That's gonna be cool, right?" Based. I could talk about Gantz for years. I love and hate Gantz. Anyway, this show is just like...
Can we talk about Dead Man Wonderland and how much I hate that?
Ah, man, I hate that too. We'll clap hands on that.
Yay.
But this show is just like... It's an isekai that I don't hate, which is very, very rare.
Honestly, it's just another isekai. It's not quite as good as
separates
Bofuri.
it, like... the art style is super, like, generic anime.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I like the characterization of the characters. So I can put up with a lot more than most isekai. Because most isekai are super generic. Like, the fact that, like, the main character in the first episode... what happened in the second episode?
I don't
what
know,
happens
I
at
haven't
the end of the
seen
first
it yet.
episode?
At the
No,
end of
what
the first
happens
episode, he abandons the girl and just power levels.
Yep. Yeah. So in the first episode, it's revealed that there's a monster that when it eats you, you can't revive because in the show
until the monster's dead.
No, you have to free them from the stomach. Which is what happens in the second episode. It's really cool. But like the thing is, like in the show, when you die, you will revive after 30 seconds.
If one of you is still alive.
As long as one of your party members are still alive. If all your party members are dead, you die in the game in real life.
It really is a game mechanic.
Yeah. But it's barely
like
a game
Phantasy
mechanic.
Star Online's game mechanic.
Like it feels more like it feels really arbitrary and unnecessary, but like it creates it is a storytelling tool to create tension, which I'm okay with. I mean, you don't learn like that the interdimensional beings from like the future and everything until the end of the second episode. So like you still, I mean, and even so, you still don't know why exactly everything's happening.
Yeah, I'm not in love with it, but I'm glad the main character has a come to Jesus moment that quickly.
I'm not saying this is like one of the best. I enjoy this show. There is like of all the shows like that we're talking about this season, I'm only like dropping like 3 or 4 of them.
I haven't
any
I don't
like
think
big
I've dropped
standouts?
a single one yet. Big standouts are going to be.
We'll get to the standouts. Akudama Drive is definitely one of them.
I would say the big standouts from what I've seen, and I don't even know if some of mine are on the list right now, Mike. I would say the biggest...
I asked you before we recorded, is there any other show to add?
No, but Crunchyroll is stupid. And I tried to look through the Crunchyroll list. I'm like, oh man, what's new on the Crunchyroll list? And like, I mean, One Piece is in a really good arc right now. That's nice.
That's not seasonal, bro.
Case
it's every
Closed
season.
is 16
That's not
episodes
seasonal,
away. Oh, Dragon Quest isn't bad. I don't believe it, but the new
I
Dragon
was talking
Quest...
about that, actually.
I didn't want to add that to the list because I didn't think you would watch or care about it.
I did. I watched it, and it's not bad. I thought it was going to be really schlocky and dumb, and it's just... It's really weird that my compliment for it is that it's not bad.
It's a kid's cartoon.
Fight me.
I don't have anything like... And here's the deal. When I say it's a kid's cartoon, I mean there's a lot of childlike logic in it, and I don't find that appealing. It's just like...
Nobliss, that also came out.
Oh, Nobliss. Fuck. I don't... That is like the 3rd remake of that shitty motion comic from like 20 years ago. I don't care.
Oh yeah, are we going to talk about how Burn the Witch is just panty and stocking for a new era?
I didn't have that on the list because I figured we could do like an actual episode on that since it's only 3 episodes.
Really?
Oh, really? That's it? So those 3 episodes are it?
Yeah. It's not a seasonal show.
Oh, I only watched the first one and I was like, man, I don't ever want to come back to this.
I'll watch that.
We'll talk about it. I do though want to talk about. There's another show. Another one of my like ones that I don't really have much to say about. Ikebukuro Westgate Park.
Looks like Banana Fish.
Nicole, our friend, likes this show, and I haven't had the heart to ask her why.
Let me take a look. Let me see what
the
this
show,
is.
like Moth, you might end up liking it. I don't know. I think like it's like a less interesting do-rah-rah. That's literally what it is.
None of these characters look very good.
Exactly. Like the do-rah-rah, like even if you didn't like the story that was going on in that arc, you at least could appreciate the character designs. This
Honestly,
is just it's not very good.
Just watch Tokyo Tribe again, like instead of this.
I don't know what that is.
Tokyo Tribe. You know that famous shocker scene, Goosh Goosh, where
You just said a bunch of words, man.
Okay, there's that famous, like, it's on YouTube, and it's like the only reason anybody knows about it. It's a scene where this big, huge abomination of a fat man looks at a twink and is like, "Yeah, she'll do nicely." And then the next cut is just this dude getting sodomized so bad that like gallons of blood is just pouring down.
Oh,
his
I know
leg.
that one. I know that one.
Yeah, Goosh Goosh. That's Tokyo Tribe.
Yep.
I don't know what that is, and that's the worst thing you've ever said.
pretty bad.
Okay, Tokyo Tribe is the Boondocks for Japan.
Okay.
But it's just it's got some of the most grotesque, like, and like the fact that Tokyo Tribe goes under the radar so much blows my mind.
I've never heard of it, and
It's
I don't.
and it's an anime with a prominently black cast too. Like almost all the main characters are black, and it was done in Japan. It's completely Japanese.
Yeah, never heard of that. I mean, I did have heard of it based on that clip
Because-
alone, but other than that, I'd never heard anything about it.
Yeah, you know about it because this scene. I'll just send this still frame to you, Frog.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sorry about that. Yeah, I got nothing to say about that anime either, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, well, you haven't seen it, so I'm not surprised. But
No,
yeah,
it doesn't look good.
a lot of people. I've heard some talk. A lot of people like it, and I just don't really get it. Another show, and this is. I have two more shows that I have two. I have one more show that no one else has watched, so I'll go ahead and talk about it first.
Sure.
Talentless Nana, also the Japanese name Monuo Nanana.
Nah.
Oh,
This
gosh.
This show's really fucking cool.
I'm having PTSD. Why am I getting Madoka Magica PTSD? Mike, help me.
It's really fucking wild. So, like, if you look up this show, like, I watched the first episode, and the first thing I thought of, because I started watching Assassination Classroom,
Which is phenomenal.
It's okay.
Yeah, I like it. I'm about halfway through the first season. I like it. I just haven't had enough time to get back into it. When I started this show, I was like, "This is Assassination Classroom," and it's just going to be like a clone of it. I hate it because the premise of the show is that there is a school in which people with superpowers are sent to learn how to defeat an evil that only they can fight.
Right.
And it's like, okay, that's kind of Assassination Classroom, except without, like, just take the superpowers out. And there are two new transfer students, and one is a brooding, evil-looking guy, and you're like, oh, he's going to be the bad guy. And then a girl appears, and she's super cute, and she can read minds, and it's like, oh, that's cool. And our main character is the only one who, according to to what it's saying, it has no power. So it's like, oh, okay, this is...
Okay.
It's setting itself up to be the most boilerplate, generic, obvious show ever. And, like, the real power he had all along was leadership. Except that's not what happens. He does have a power. He can create barriers.
Oh, so it's Kakashi.
A little bit. Actually, the barrier he creates looks a lot like an AT field.
Okay, so it's Neon Genesis Evangelion.
But the entire first episode, I'm gonna spoil this, by the way. Honestly, watch this show. Like, if you're listening to this, just skip ahead a little bit to me not talking about it anymore. Watch this show if that sounded boring, which is weird to say. But like over the course of this first episode, that pink-haired girl who can read minds befriends him, and the barrier thing that he can create, it's actually that his power is that he can nullify all powers, and it looks like a barrier when
So
he
it's
uses
Black
all
Oh,
the
so
physical
it's
ability.
Black Clover.
Yeah, like I said, generic as shit, dude. And there's this moment where, like, early in the episode, he goes to, like, be sad at a cliff with the girl because she's new, so he's throwing her around. and something tries to like, and it said in the show that the evil force is everywhere in the world, and they can sometimes look like humans. And there are plenty of students that think on the island there is one of them, but they don't know who. And so some people choose to keep their powers secret, like he did. And early in the episode, like something tries to, it's framed like something tries to attack her, but it doesn't say that. And she gets pushed off the cliff, and he grabs her and saves her. And it's like, oh, okay, they're getting closer. And she can read minds. She can read everyone's mind. She can say exactly what they're thinking. And he feels uncomfortable with this. He's like, I don't want you to feel my mind. But this is before he's revealed that he can nullify powers. And it cuts to like the end of the episode. He saved the day. He's become class president. They're standing at that cliff where she almost fell off. And she grabs his hand. And she's like, if I touch you, does it nullify powers? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, I can't read your mind. It's the first time I've ever been able to do that. And they're like, oh man. And they're leaning into each other to kiss. And then she fucking swerves him and pushes him to his death. Because she's not an evil one. She is a human. And this island is where the evil ones are training to take over the world. But none of them realize it because they're children. And she has infiltrated the island.
Neverland.
What?
Wait, what?
Nothing. Never mind. Keep going.
Okay.
And she's infiltrated the island to systematically kill each and every one of them before they can, like, destroy the world in a few years. And it's like, wow, I didn't see that twist coming at all. That was fucking nuts. Like, I as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, either that guy or that girl's gonna be evil. But then it turns out at the end, no, everyone is evil, and she's the good one trying to save the world. It was so, like, I saw that, and I was like, what the fuck? That's so cool! I was like, this show has so much promise on its premise and ability to subvert my expectations alone that I'm giving it more than enough of a second shot. And it's just really fucking good. I enjoy the hell out of this show.
So
I think I check that out, actually.
I got an anime that completely went under my radar, and you want to know why it went under my radar?
What's up?
Because it's on Funimation. So I now have to go watch this anime, but it's on the list, and if any of you have a girlfriend who likes anime, you should take the bullet and watch this with her. It's called Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle.
What is this?
Mike's sigh just sold that for me. So here's the synopsis, and I don't know anything about it. I've just seen the OP, and I've seen the first 2 minutes.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Moth, please, can I just say, man, if you're gonna watch the off the wall, like, I literally make the list for us to talk about, and I take into consideration this. Okay, Moth. I go through the list. I'm like, okay, Moth's not gonna like that. Moth's not gonna like that. Moth's not gonna like that. Frog maybe won't like it, so I'll leave it off. Moth definitely won't like it. And I shave everything off that you won't like. And then we show up for seasonal recording, and you have 12 shows to talk about that I didn't put on the list, and you didn't consult me about it. I hate you.
Well, I only found out about this like 20 minutes before we recorded, okay?
Then why are you bringing it up?
Because it looks really good. It looks like very comfy and wholesome and mind-numbing.
Okay, so talk about this show. Wait,
okay, so here's the premise. No, I didn't. But here's the premise straight from Funimation. I'll watch it and I'll report back next episode. So,
okay.
Cialis is a princess. A really cute...
Isn't that a
Wait, her name is Cialis?
When she gets kidnapped by the Demon King as a hostage, she's stuck in a castle full of demons, waiting to be rescued by her knight in shining armor. So what does she do? What any of us would do. Take a nap on a pillow she's fashioned from her teddy bear demon guards.
What?
Yeah, it's about an insomniac princess who wanders a castle for fun, filled with demons because she can't sleep.
Sounds kind of fun.
Why did you bring this up? Why is
I'm
this
so
something
confused.
you decided
Yeah, like,
to
wait,
talk
why is
about?
this even like a topic though? Like,
Because my wife is gonna love it.
okay.
Speaking of animes that Mike probably thought I wasn't gonna like, and for some reason do, Girls Climbing Club.
No. I left that one off the list because I thought you would be the only one to like it.
Here's the thing, I shouldn't like it. It has everything in an anime that I hate. An all-female cast. Yeah, women. An all-female cast. women's being weirdly lesbian even though it's a completely straight setting.
What does that mean?
Doing things.
Wait, back up.
Oh, it's because it's an all-female cast, so obviously they're all lesbians.
Okay, so what is a straight setting mean?
Oddly straight
There is
setting.
no sport more heterosexual than rock climbing.
Fellas, is it straight to exist in the real world?
Yes. It is. It's just like it's. Hey, it's only girls in the show, so we're gonna be lesbians. That's what it is.
Nice.
And so it's a rock climbing anime where the main character was really, really good at puzzle games. In fact, she won a bunch of Japan qualifiers at puzzle games. And because of that, she almost didn't get into high school because her grades were so bad. So she decided to join a high school club where she could enjoy puzzle games. And she ended up joining the rock climbing club.
How'd you even fuck that up? Did she not read?
She spent so much time playing puzzle games that she failed class.
So she couldn't read the thing to the assignment form for the right club?
She was like, I don't want to be at a puzzle game club. I need to find a club that's not playing video games. And so she joined the rock climbing club.
Alright.
And she's really good at rock climbing because she can figure out the puzzles.
Oh yeah, rock climbing is basically
that kind of makes sense.
Physical puzzle.
Yeah, it's Puyo Pop with rocks.
Puyo Pop rocks.
That actually, you know what? That the way you honestly, this is like the first time I'm ever giving like Moth's ability to describe something. You just described that in a way that makes that sound more interesting than it might be to me. I might actually check this out.
Yeah, so it's worth watching just because I should hate it and I don't.
I don't know how to take that recommendation at all.
But can we talk about the greatest of all time? Just started season 3.
Yo Mama, the final
Golden
jokes.
Kamui season 3. Mike, can you audio edit some air horns in right now while I'm talking? Just like, Golden Kamui! Ah! Ah! I need those air horns, Mike. Edit in the air horns.
I was honestly wishing that we would never have to talk about this show ever again.
Oh yeah!
Because it's the meme. It's the show that me and Frog will never watch because the first episode didn't look good.
You guys are so... And here's the thing, like, a lot of the times when you transition from Season 2 to Season 3, like, My Hero Academia is notorious for this. Every time a new season starts, the starting episode is super slow-paced and boring and just crap-ass. Golden Kamui, just... This third season, this first episode, so much happened that it's hard to believe it was one episode. Because in the first episode, they ended up in an island in Japan. They started explaining Japan's immigration policies to push the Ainu into more and more inhospitable areas. They went hunting for a little girl. They ended up getting drunk off of lingonberries and starting a fight in a bar. They ran away from a wolverine that straight up murdered a bear. They showed a bunch of nude pictures of one of the members of their patrol to underage children by mistake. They ended up getting into a fight with a bunch of Russians. They ended up brawling in a bar with a bunch of Russians. And then the episode ends with all the characters in this episode getting naked and entering a 4-versus-4 fighting ring and beating the shit out of each other. Like, the show just started and ran off as fast as it could on episode 1.
So, I'm gonna say... I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna be more fair than I've ever been to Moth in my entire life. I watched the first 6 or 7 minutes of the first episode of season 3, and there were me with no context. I mean, I know who Sugimoto is. That's the only character I know.
Yeah.
With no context of any other character, there was 2 or 3 bits that were actually funny, and I was like, okay. And the production of it was consistent and not bad, and I was like, okay. But I don't know what's going on, so I'm not going to watch anymore. And that this is a completely neutral to good critique of it. It's not even really a critique. I can't say if it's good or bad or not. All I can say is if I had known any of the characters, I probably would have laughed my ass off and kept watching. It's probably good.
It's phenomenal. Actually, I went on Twitter about this and I was really sad that nobody noticed, but in the previous season, the big part of season 2 was they were trying to figure out who betrayed all the Ainu people and stole their gold. And you'd been led to believe since the beginning of the show that it was the main girl's father. Well, there's a scene where they recreate I don't know, the Last Supper. They recreate the painting of the Last Supper, and they have all the characters. The actual traitor has been with the group since the beginning, and he takes the spot of Judas when they recreate the painting.
Oh, that sounds like it might be cool.
They, like, drop that, and if you're not paying attention, you don't even notice. You're like, oh man, that's so cool. And then, like, a few episodes later, he betrays the group because it's admitted that he's the traitor. And I went back and I saw that scene. I'm like, holy he's in Judas's spot.
It's kind of a cool little foreshadowing.
Yeah, like, if you knew anything, like, about art history, you'd been like, why is he... Because, like, they had a bunch of stuffed dead bodies also in the frame. Like, just corpses that they stuffed and put on the wall. Yeah. And, like, they could have easily put a corpse in Judas's spot, but they put him.
Man,
so,
Golden Kamui is a really unhinged show.
Golden Kamui... There's... I honestly, like... You will go from an episode where they are running from a cross-dressing lobotomist expert to another episode where 5 men are nude wrestling each other because they all got horny eating otter, like, meat. And then in the very next episode, they're running away from a bunch of blind dudes who use...
Does otter meat make you horny?
Yes. They use photosynthesis, that thing where you use your ears to hear.
That's not what photosynthesis is.
That's not what that is at all.
They
use
echolocation.
Ears to hear.
They use echolocation to hunt them with guns in the middle of the woods, and that goes as poorly as you would imagine. And so, like, honestly, I know you guys meme it because the CGI bear in the first episode, but like,
no, it doesn't look like interesting to me. That's all it is. It's not even about the bear.
The first it's not even this, like, the CGI bear didn't, like, it was kind of distracting. The fucking gif of fire that they used in that first episode, that's what did it to me. Like, it's so like awful. I was so distracted and taken out of it.
Okay.
But like I've said it from the beginning because I look at every single time I see art from the manga, I'm like, this looks amazing. When it finishes, I will read it and we'll have a genuine discussion about Golden Kamui. But the manga has to end.
It still hasn't ended yet. You're right.
Because all of my hate is just about the adaptation and nothing about the actual story. Because the story actually, like, the plot of the story actually sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, well, the thing is that I think at some point the show was supposed to be treasure hunting people who have, like, treasure maps printed on their body. But that has gone so far. Like, you can honest to God have an episode where suddenly everyone, like, somebody has a pipe bomb shoved up their ass and nobody's sure who it is. And I'd be like, yeah, that's Golden Kamui.
That's just an episode of the Potter Puppet Pals.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, Golden Kamui is so unhinged that I cannot tell you what is going to happen from, like, one scene to the next. Like, I could not even begin to predict how the show was going to go.
Speaking of unhinged, I have just... Before we get to the Jiu-Jitsu Kaisen, the one show we all definitely watched, I'm going to talk about Tonikawa, Over the Moon for You.
Okay.
Because I was gonna talk about this sooner before all the interesting stuff because there's not much to say about it.
Dude, the main character is Luca from Monster Girl Quest.
I've never played Monster Girl Quest.
How have you not played Monster Girl Quest?
I'm not weird and horny.
Dude,
I'm
it
just
is the
weird.
memeiest hentai game of all time.
So basically, the first episode.
Go type in Luca Monster Girl Quest right now.
I am not fond of, like, fact checking during the podcast. It makes clickety clacks.
Nope.
I edit the podcast. I hate you. I hate you so much.
Hear you what? I'm sending you a picture, Mike. This is the main character of Tonikawa. I want you to tell me that this man is not the main character of Tonikawa.
I mean, he's just a generic anime boy.
Really, this isn't the main character of Tonikawa right here. This picture that I'm sending.
No, because the main character has blue hair and that's purple very clearly.
Frog, I'm going to show you the main character from Tonikawa while Mike is talking, and you're going to tell me that this is the same MC that gets vored by a lanternfish.
Okay.
But Tonikawa, very simple show. A guy who has... His name is NASA. His name is NASA.
His name is NASA?
His name is NASA because his parents thought it'd be funny to call him NASA.
And he gets made fun of that. Like, he grows up being mocked. Like, a little girl walks up to him as a child. He's like, your name's NASA. Are you going to be an astronaut? And he's like, no, It's just my name. No, he's like,
yes.
no, it's just my name, and he's so sick of everyone calling him, like, saying he's gonna be an astronaut. He decides, I'm gonna be the smartest, so that everyone will remember my name and not the North American Space Association. But at some point during this, like, fucking learning where he's just studying, and he's like a middle school kid, he's just walking home from cram school one day, and he sees a pretty girl, and he forgets his dream. Literally, he sees a pretty girl.
100% forgets it on the spot.
He sees a pretty girl, goes to cross the street to go talk to her, gets hit by a bus, breaks both his legs, and has multiple internal injuries.
And chases after her.
Just another Sunday.
But gets up and chases after her off pure adrenaline to confess to her. And he does so, and she's like, okay, I'll go out with you, but you have to marry me. And he's like, bet.
Deal.
And then he falls
then she
over.
disappears for 2 years.
And in that time, he's dropped out of school. He works in a mini mart, and literally the only thing he can think about is that weird girl he saw when he was a kid. And then one day she just shows up to his house and is like, so here's the marriage contract. Let's go do it, dude. And it's like, he even says in the show, it's like, in this moment, I should be asking her,
why,
where she come from, how, what is going on,
go?
why are we getting
Where'd
married?
She come from?
But then, like, the only thing he can actually think of is, oh my god, I have a girl in my room.
Wait, how old is he at this point?
Frog. Look at those pictures I just sent, and tell me that's not the exact same character.
1 second.
Pull it up right now.
It's just a purple hair boy. It's not.
It's the main character, dumb Shota, that gets taken advantage of by women.
Okay.
But, like, so this show, like, there's not much to say. There's good comedy in it, though. Like, there's some good gags. Like, literally, it's like, wait, it's the middle of the night. Why are we getting married right now? And she's just like, don't worry about it. Let's just go do it.
Can you think of a better time to get married than in the middle of the night?
Come on, guy. Like, they have an overnight clerk. This is normal.
They actually do. And the clerk even says it. It's like, you could wait till morning. She's like, now's a good time.
That was the perfect time.
Okay, so the only time he ever sees her is at night. And, like, the show alludes to, like, the story of the bamboo cutter, which is a really good, like, Japanese, like, fairy tale about, like, Princess
the moon
Kaguya.
princess.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that she might be a fucking moon monster. It would be kind of cool if there's that. If not, then it's just really weird. But it's a real great comedy. I'm probably gonna watch the next episode. Might watch the episode after that. But that's all I gotta say about it.
Well, we all know the only Kaguya who matters is from Naruto, pure and simple.
The only thing that matters is from Love is War, bro.
Yeah, Kaguya-sama, Love is War, baby.
No, Kaguya from Naruto, Ara Mommy Moon.
She's not. No, she's the worst Kaguya.
You can shut your heathen mouth.
She's just a fucking bunny girl.
Big mommy who just wants her sons to come back.
She's the worst. Literally, she's the worst bunny girl.
You're an idiot, and I no longer respect your opinion.
Have you ever?
Yeah.
All right,
it's a mutual disrespect.
Let's do this. Air horns, Mike. Jiu-Jitsu Kaisen. Jiu-Jitsu Kaisen. Jiu-Jitsu Kaisen. This is what is probably going to be anime of the season.
Maybe. Well, I'm yet to be convinced, but I like it.
All right, Mike.
I think
you got those air horns in right there.
I'll think about it. It depends on how much I hate myself whenever I'm editing this. This show is really weird, and when I say that, I mean it was getting hyped up pre-release.
Well, because the manga was good.
But that's the thing. People who read... I read a lot of manga. People
didn't know it existed.
No. I knew it existed. But people who read manga have bad taste.
This is
they
usually
just
true.
do.
That's why I have
can
superior
confirm this.
taste, and I don't read manga.
But so when people were hyping this up, and I saw, like, the first PV, I was like, okay, this could either be really good, or it's just like a cringy, kind of edgy, dumb thing that they like because it's edgy and cringy, because that's what manga readers like. They like cringy, edgy things. See Tokyo Ghoul.
I mean, apparently the manga for Tokyo Ghoul is actually pretty good.
I don't care. Get out of here.
Apparently it's very
good.
different from the anime, so it's not really fair.
But Tokyo Ghoul isn't good.
Well, that's the thing. Apparently it's very different from the anime. They actually, like, completely changed the story in the anime, apparently.
No. Tokyo Ghoul just isn't good.
Okay.
The
Thanks for the fun discussion.
The last episode of the first season of the anime is an interesting show. I like that one. But other than that, I don't like Tokyo Ghoul.
Is that the one where they breach and clear the house?
No. That's the one where the main character is tied up by Jason, and the entire episode is inside his brain, and it's his like subconscious trying to.
the episode 25 of Neon Genesis Evangelion.
You know what? I can't even be mad at you. That's just true. That thing you just said is just true. But Jiu-Jitsu Kaisen. When this show, not only was I not sure, I also saw that it was being produced by MAPPA, and I know, Moth. I know you love MAPPA.
Love MAPPA.
But I remember a time when MAPPA wasn't good.
When was that?
Very recently.
Yeah.
And still, to some extent.
MAPPA is really inconsistent. So when they are touching something, it's a 50-50. It's either going to be like good to really good, or it's like, what? This is awful.
Inuyashiki.
Yeah. But this show looks phenomenal, and the art is phenomenal, and the character designs. I mean, it's based off the anime. Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
And okay. Did you see the second episode, Moth?
I did see it.
I have not yet. No, that's on the list to watch.
I see.
In the second episode, I'm not spoiling anything. The ending is amazing.
Oh, the end? Do you mean the ending, like the ending credits, or
yes,
do you mean, like...
yes, the ending credits.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I agree.
Like the ending credits is just each of the characters dancing
TT Kubo
in like
art
a
style. Well, not art style, like
limited
clothing,
art. Yeah,
like show off.
it's so good. It's like I can't wait for the Blu-ray to come, because when Blu-rays come out for anime, they always include creditless EDs and OPs. I can't wait for the creditless ED to come out of this, so I can just take that and make it like a movie background for my computer. It's so beautiful.
It's really cool.
I don't have like very many
The
complaints.
opening's beautiful too.
Yeah, the opening's like, are you kidding me? The 3D effects on that water look so gorgeous.
Yeah.
I don't have very many criticisms of this show.
No, in fact, I really enjoy the fact that the MC is so stupid that he ate a finger.
Bruh, this dude was like, this monster wants to eat this finger. I can't eat the monster. The guy said if monsters eat the finger, they get powers. If I eat this finger, I'll get powers and he can't get the thing no more. I'm gonna eat it, I guess.
I mean, so to be fair, what else is he gonna do in that situation?
No, it was pretty solid.
That makes complete sense to me. He was gonna die otherwise.
True. I mean, in that instance, like, that was the right call. Because either he was gonna... he didn't know it could kill him, but either he was gonna die from getting eaten, or he could have died from eating the finger, but he didn't die. He became the cage to a demon, which is, like... He's basically a cool Naruto.
No, Naruto's a cool Naruto. He's more like,
Consider that Naruto was not very cool.
He's kind of like a cool version of the guy from Tokyo Ghoul.
No, like, literally, he has a demon
What's
inside
his
of him
name?
that gives him powers.
Light? Yeah, it's Lagami.
That's Death Note.
He's literally a Naruto dude. He even, like, if you changed his hair to orange, he would just be Naruto. He literally has an evil demon inside of him. What?
There's no swing.
How can I enjoy this? How can I enjoy this pizza without my swing?
Okay. There's not a swing, but his grandpa dies in the first episode, and they've already flashed back to that like 3 times. Like, his
like
grandpa
once.
dying is the swing.
One time.
I feel it loud.
Okay, no, that was a couple times.
Brain.
Yeah, you're right.
Also, I really like they set up, like, the first episode's like really fantastic at setting up who this character is and what motivates him.
Yeah, it's a good job.
Yeah, the fear of death, of dying alone.
No,
not quite. Really,
the
it's got to do with
dying
death.
alone is what motivates him. Everyone should have a good death.
Not quite, but you're
it's
close
more so
enough.
like he was living pretty aimlessly, and then on his grandfather's deathbed, his grandfather was like, "Hey, make friends and don't be lonely like me," and then passes away. It's a really good moment.
The fact that his grandpa was able to die on cue is the best part.
I mean, it happens in real life sometimes.
I mean, to be fair, yeah. And in that moment, I think he was even, like, foreshadowing that... I mean, he was in a hospital bed. Like, if you weren't expecting this old man to die, come on. But, like, yeah...
Foreshadowing. The man dies because he is dying in a hospital bed.
But yeah, the only, like, I would struggle to find real criticisms of this show so far. and it would just be revolved around the fact that it is a shonen.
I'm so sorry. It's an actual show.
Huh?
What?
Huh?
Shonen is a valid gender. It's not like
Gender.
yeah, shonen is a valid gender. 'Cause it
The
means
two
young boy.
genders, shonen and seinen. No, I don't know. I didn't. I at no point said that shonen isn't a valid genre. I'm saying that shonen, like, they tend to be filled with the same tropes. They tend to have like the same character archetypes. They tend to tell the same stories. And this show has some of that, but in the same way that like
There is a Sasuke.
You know what? This doesn't have a Sasuke, but that
is.
other dude is kind of Aki.
Aki. Oh, yeah, he's kind of like Aki from Chainsaw Man.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point he dies tragically.
Maybe.
But I'm really feeling the show, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, like, most of it's production for me. This show looks really nice. The thing is, like, Mappa's known for, like, recently especially, like, making a show look really good for a little bit, so I don't know.
No, it's gonna be good, because Mappa is good. Mappa only does good.
Mappa does good sometimes, on occasion.
You sound like that guy from that Super Best Friend clip when he's like, I believe in the 3 Bs. Blizzard, Bethesda, and BioWare.
Yeah, except those companies went bad.
Yeah,
all three of those companies are bad.
Mappa is super inconsistent, Moth.
I'm going to tell you right now, I've heard a lot of bad things about the production cycle for Attack on Titan Season 4.
Yeah. Wait, isn't that JP Staff doing that?
No, it's them. It's
no,
Mappa.
Mappa's doing it.
Oh, no.
Just concerning.
Alright, well, that's actually a good note to end on, if you ask me.
Are we gonna?
Yeah, we should end on the confusing fate of our mutual favorite anime, except for Moth, who maybe doesn't love it.
That's my favorite.
I think it's really good, and it's probably going to be the anime of the season. But it's not Golden Kamui.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the
Attack on Titan. Yeah.
Oh, Attack on Titan's hot garbage.
Yeah. But thanks everybody for coming to the We Anime Podcast. We actually talked about anime, and we're actually here,
guys. I'm gonna study up. It's gonna be a little less quiet for me next time. Watch it. I'm starting to go
Mike,
Italian.
Frog, you've been saying that for like 40 episodes that you're gonna talk about.
What do you mean? I usually watch the shows. You're the one who doesn't watch the shows. You do not get to fucking pin this on me.
Oh no, that's a load of crap. Mike, have I watched everything you put in front of me ever since we had that Come to Jesus talk?
That was just episode.
Oh my god. What are you... fuck, what was it?
Like 6 months ago, I went to Mike and I was like, Mike, I can tell that you're not happy. What can I do to make this better? And Mike, with tears in his eyes, was like, Moth, please just watch the material. And you know what? Ever since that day, I have watched the material. I watched Rurouni Kenshin.
Fuck, what was that thing that we watched? And when we were talking about it, you're like, yeah, I was, I listened to the dub while doing something else.
Perfect Blue.
Perfect Blue! Yeah! You're over here being like, I started watching the stuff. Meanwhile, you half listened to the audio of a really heady anime, and you're like, it's not that good, though.
No, but here's the thing. I got, when we had that conversation, though, I was able to keep up with you guys. We talked about it. I actually talked about how uncomfortable the rape scene was where they were doing that. We were able to have a real conversation. I watched the content.
You did. Well, I'll say that you skimmed the content, because there are several times when me and Frog were like, man, this happened, and you're like, what? No. I guess I missed
keep in mind, the dub lost a lot of the subtlety of the sub.
That is true.
I believe that.
That is true.
So I watched it to get a different perspective than you guys. You're over here.
Fuck you.
No, you guys watched the sub. I watched the dub, so I could talk about how different it was as an experience.
You wanted to watch your weird. You wanted to play one of your weird hentai Mormon games, and you were like, well, I guess I gotta watch this in the background. Meanwhile, otherwise Mike will fucking cut my pee-pee off again.
Well, you know what? But I do it, and here I am. I'm giving you this all for this podcast, and you won't even watch Code Monkeys.
Can we watch Kaiji next time? I want to watch Kaiji.
That's been the We Hate Anime podcast. Check the description for all our linky links. You can follow us on Twitter.
If you watch Code Monkeys, I will watch Kaiji with you.
I can watch Code Monkeys. I don't know. How much are we watching? Like 4 episodes?
Yeah, the first 4 episodes. That's all I asked.
Okay, we gotta watch 52 episodes of Kaiji.
Tell you what, I will watch the first season of Kaiji.
That's actually like a lot.
I'll watch the first arc. How about that? The first big
That's
arc.
like 8 episodes, so it's not so bad.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
So, there we go.
Wait,
Mike,
didn't you already watch it, though?
In 2 weeks, Mike, we are watching Code Monkeys and talking about it.
We don't. Well, I don't. Mike said he didn't want to do it. Let's not like force it on him.
I'm not. I despise that show. It is.
I have no idea
unfunny.
why. It was G4's like best show, other than
That
X-Play.
That is not.
G4 didn't have very many good shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had
wasn't very good.
reruns.
I mean, like it's like I got a lot of roses and glasses, but I'm gonna be real, guys. G4 isn't very good.
No, it had X-Play, Attack of the Show.
I don't think G4 is good. I think it was my childhood.
Yeah, no, same. I actually I watched it a lot. Like, I watched. I mean, I kind of got into it late in its life cycle because I saw it like maybe like in 2010 and onward. So it was pretty late.
They were going bankrupt, and they were at that point called Tech TV.
No, it was still G4.
No, they were Tech TV first,
because they went back and forth
then
a
they
couple
became
times.
G4.
But basically at that point it was just like repeats of
Cops
of Electric Playground.
Gosh,
and here in the States, it was Cops and Web Soup reruns.
Electric
It
Playground
was like BattleBots, wasn't it?
No, that was
that's Electric Playground's like
BattleBots
a
was
news show basically, just gaming
2010.
news.
BattleBots was 2010.
Although it was like gaming news and like mainstream media, so like game reviewers.
This guy looked like he would do better as like a Guy Fieri stand-in than an actual reviewer.
Who? Which guy?
For the third
host.
time, this has been the We Hate Anime podcast. the
coming,
only
everybody.
podcast that is not watching Code Monkeys.
Yet.
Check everything in the comments. Join the Discord. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe. If we get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I can monetize this shit. And maybe I'll start a Patreon. I've been thinking about it. I don't know.
No, not until we have like 10,000 subscribers.
That's not gonna happen.
No, if we put that 1,000 is where I'm cutting it. If we did, but I don't know. I'm still thinking about that. Don't know what we're watching next week, but we'll think about it. Have a good day.
Is that our new outro?
See you next time.
No, we're not seeing anyone next time. It doesn't happen.
そんな優しくしないでどんな顔すればいいの積み重ねた言葉で見えないよ君の横顔どこで